while I'm waiting for everybody to jump on. Our career speaker for today had to reschedule because he had a family emergency. So we will have him come back on another day. But I do have two really fantastic alumni to chat with us today about where they are in life and what is going on with them and what their involvement in the music and theater department were. And so I know for some of you it was a really hard week. I'm feeling that as well. Don't forget, those of you who were a part of Into the Woods, we are doing a Zoom meeting today at 3 o'clock. Information is on the Google Classroom, so make sure you check that out. We're hoping to have as many of you there as possible. I'd love to have so many people that I need several sheets in Zoom today. So today we have two awesome alumni. Ashley Maurer, some of you might know her as Ashley Webb, is our first one, and then Lizzie Weaver of the three Weaver children will be with us the second half. So just like our other chats, I know they're going to be fantastic and really give us some insight into what it's been like since they've been at high school. So as always, for those of you who missed this, if you are not available right now, feel free to jump on later and watch it archived on our live, or you can check it out on my YouTube channel. So, all right, I am going to invite Ashley to join me, and she already sent me a request, so that just makes my life easier.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Super fun.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
You as well. I've been trying to watch them, the other ones. It's so fun. I feel like I haven't seen any of these people in such a long time.
Yeah, that's what Erica was saying. It's like she's connecting with people that she hasn't connected with in a while, and it's because we're isolated. So,
Yeah, for real.
but how are things for you? Now, where are you?
I'm in Texas, so in San Angelo, Texas. That's why I'm outside. It's supposed to be 89 degrees today, I think.
Wow, send us some warmth, please.
Yes, warmth to you. I hear that there's snow predicted for Friday, so
I'm just gonna close my eyes.
yeah, just pretend that you're here. You can just call me and I'll like send the sun.
Show me the sunshine.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Ashley, because a lot of the followers are not gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself and then kind of explain how you were involved with the music department.
Okay, sure. I'm an alumni from Elam. I'm also an alumni from Elam, but I'm an alumni from Leroy. From 2014 is when I graduated. Can you hear me okay? Because I have feedback from my. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good. Just check.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, so I graduated in 2014. I did musicals the entire time. I was in the pit for the first 2 years, and then I did cast, but I'll come back to that. After I graduated, I went straight to Elam Bible Institute in college, where I was there for 2 years, and I got my associate's degree in applied science and biblical and theological studies, which is a super long title for a degree, but I actually have been working at Elam since I graduated from Elam, which was in 2016. So I have been working there for 4 years. Yeah, 4 years now. I actually work part-time remote. So Elam is in Lima, New York. But I work 20 hours a week from my office. So when all this coronavirus stuff started, I was already working from home. So not really anything has changed for us, which is good. My husband is Sam Maurer. I married him in January of 2016. So we've been married for over 4 years, which seems like forever. He went to prom with me my junior and senior year of high school. So we've been there for a long time. He is an officer in the Air Force, which is why we moved down to Texas. He'll be doing his training for the Air Force for intelligence, starting hopefully at the end of this month. It's a 6-month training, and then we'll move again somewhere else, which we don't know yet. So we're here temporarily, basically for quarantine, and then once everything's starting to get back to normal, we'll move again. So it's been super nice to connect with everybody. My job at Elam, I guess I didn't say, I work in the institutional effectiveness department. So basically I do reporting and data analysis and student evaluations and stuff for the school.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been up to. I got a cat like a month ago.
That's
almost.
good.
Yeah.
Cat therapy.
For real. I knew I wanted a cat. I had cats in high school, and then we couldn't have it at our apartment where we first lived. And then I got one. Her name is Maggie. If you follow me on Instagram, which probably none of you do, but I post pictures of her all the time. She's super cute, but it's been so great to have her with the quarantine, because you're like home all the time. And Sam's great, but he likes to play his video games, and then like then I have my kitty, and she can sit with me and watch my shows because she doesn't care what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's very cool that you can work in Texas and stay with the same job. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
I know. I was so grateful. When I started, I actually worked in the academic office, and I was kind of like a secretary, half that and half what I do now. And so when I knew I was leaving, like Sam knew he was going to go into the Air Force when we got married. So like I told him when I started, I'll be here for 3 years, but then we're moving. Like that's just what's going to happen. So they knew, and then they made it work for me to stay on 20 hours a week and keep doing about part of my job. Somebody else took the other half, who was part-time. So now she's full-time.
Right.
Yeah. And so it worked out super well. It's been, I mean, I don't love going to work every morning. Some days I'm like, I wish I was on quarantine and I could just not do work, but I don't want to, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are really struggling with not having jobs. So I'm like so grateful that I can still do it.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Our job has just changed. You know, we're still home, but as teachers, I'm doing things that I never thought I would be doing to interact with my students.
Sure.
Like something on an Instagram live.
Right? Yeah.
Never thought that would happen, but you know, they've given us some strange lemons, and we're just trying to figure out what to do with them. So this works. I'm enjoying it, and it's good for me because I get to see all of you. So it's a win.
I know. It's so great.
It is. It's a win. Do you want to talk to them about what musicals you were in high school?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said before, I started in the pit. Actually, when I was in 7th grade and 8th grade, they didn't let us do musicals. They let you audition, but most of the time you didn't get in. In 8th grade, they started letting a few people in. So in 7th grade was Beauty and the Beast, and I loved that. I actually had exchange students at the time. So my first exchange student era was in the musical Beauty and the Beast. And then we did Curtains the year after, which my second exchange student was in, which was so fun. And then I started in the cast, which I had wanted to be in the cast the whole time, but you know, I played French horn. I loved being in the pit. It was a whole nother experience than being on cast, but both, like, it's just one big happy family. So it doesn't really matter where you are, you're involved and everyone's there, and it's super fun. But yeah, in 9th grade, I auditioned. I was just like expecting to be an ensemble, and then I got to be a street urchin, which was super fun. Stoop lady, in Little Shop of Horrors. So there were originally only 3 street urchins, but then Miss McLean made a 4th one. So I got to be a 4th street urchin, which was super fun. I have one of my favorite memories from that show specifically was when we were the opening scene. So it was Emily and Grace and Margaret and me, and we were all backstage, like right behind the curtain, because we all came on very first thing, and we would all talk about how much we felt like we had to poop because we were like so nervous. It was like the funniest thing. I don't know if that's like too much for your Instagram live, but
Hey, you know what?
it was so funny.
That is really
And
funny.
we were just nervous, but like excited because we were like, the first thing, and let's go. And yeah, it was super fun.
It was weird. I get it.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah. And then in 10th grade was Cinderella. Erica Parker was on here last week, and I was her counterpart. We were the stepsisters together, so that was super fun. I have favorite memories from everything, so I'll just share my other favorite memory from this one.
Yeah.
There was a scene with Erica, and her skirt had gotten caught on her fat suit. And I don't think she knew, but she was exiting, and people were laughing. So then she just started like shaking her booty, and you could like tell that her skirt was up, and it was so funny. And we just left it because, you know, that's what you do when it's theater. So that was awesome. And dancing in the giant ball gowns in the aisle, that was so fun too.
It was beautiful. That was a show.
And then in 11th grade was Anything Goes, and I was Hope Harcourt in Anything Goes. That was also so fun. I had to hide in the stairwell for one part of it. I had to hide behind one of the scenes because then people were being hung upside down by their feet from backstage so their faces could come through the portal like on the boat.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Was Mr. K and I would like go up on the set by ourselves when you guys weren't around and just like pretend like it was our show.
That's awesome.
Because we loved it so much. But
yeah,
anyway,
I saw it come up this week on the Leroy Musical list of shows. Somebody said they liked Anything Goes, and I was like, yes. And I didn't know anything about the musical when we did it. Like the other ones I knew, Curtains I didn't really know either, but like most of the other ones I'm like, okay, I know what this is. Did Anything Goes, and I had like no idea, but it was so fun. There's a lot of dancing choreography in that one, which was like also super fun. We did a totally different choreography in the next year, which was Legally Blonde, and I was Brooke Wyndham, so I was the jump rope instructor, and I don't think I had ever worked out more in my life than I did for that musical. Because when you have to sing, and jump rope at the same time, it's like so much work.
I was so tired watching you.
Well, and then like I auditioned with the jump rope. Like I did my entire audition as the character, and I was like, this is exhausting. I better try harder if I want this actual part because it was so much work.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was so fun.
That was the fun show in the history of all the shows I've done where Mr. Patton's made the sets, where Mr. Patton was like, I don't like this show. And then I'll never forget it because opening night, he sat in the back and Kate was calling the show in the booth.
Yeah.
Sitting there, and the last song happened and he got up and he went, I was wrong. It's a good show. We told you. It was so excellent. It's one of our favorites that Mr. K and I have done together. So lasting memories for sure.
Yeah, it was a great show. All those shows, they were so fun. I was like not super stoked either about Legally Blonde when I knew that was going to be my last show because I was like, there's a lot of like preppy blonde girls in this show and I'm not really one of them.
Yeah.
But it worked out. I got to wear a wig, which was super fun. Rachel and I went and got spray tans the week before musical because we wanted to be like tan sorority sisters. It was really funny.
You did it. Good.
Yep.
So what has been kind of like, so you obviously have such a great passion for your memories of musical and theater and the music department in general. You know, what things have helped you and stayed with you through your life as you've gone off from high school that you could say, maybe you look back and you're like, I'm really grateful I did those shows because I have these skills now outside of just being able to sing and dance and be part of theater?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing for me is being able to work with a team of people that you wouldn't have otherwise really connected with. There were a lot of students in the years ahead of me or the years behind me that I wasn't really friends with outside of the music department. But you just work together for one purpose to put on the show. Like I was even saying with pit versus cast and with crew, like Kate Patton was my best friend in high school, and she was the crew, what is it, when she runs the show? Crew
Stage,
something. Stage
stage.
manager, that's the word.
Yeah,
Um, but even there were like other, like, I think my second to last in Anything Goes, there were like 7th and 8th graders who were doing props for crew who like I was so close with and became friends with them just because we happened to all be together doing this show. And there were people in the musicals that I didn't super get along with, even in like during musicals, but you learn to work together and you learn to have fun because you're all like working towards one final goal. I actually did a theater class at Elam. They hadn't offered theater before, but our English teacher was a theater major for her bachelor's, and so they did it one of my years that I was staff actually. And it definitely helped that because it felt like nobody was prepared for what we were doing. We did it like a show of a bunch of combined small little sketches, which was super fun, but I definitely needed like the mindset of we're all in this together and we're a team and we're working together to make this production happen. And I think it's the same thing with my job. Sometimes I may not always like agree with what we're doing or like, I don't know, have some issues with other people, but you always have to remember like we're all doing the same thing, like we're all working for the same goal, and I know that as a foundation, and it's like super fun to get to work with people who are different from you and not just your best friends.
Yeah, yeah, I agree for sure. I always laugh when students see me in other parts of the building because they're like, "Why aren't you in the music group?"
Right.
I'm like, "Because it's good to get out and meet other people."
Yeah.
Part of this diverse staff that I get to work with. So I think
Sure.
what you're saying is really important. We don't always agree on the same things and we have different views and we enjoy different things, but that's how you learn in life.
Yeah.
With different people. So it's good advice.
Yeah, like in high school, super fun that Mr. K was not only my science teacher and then he was also in the musical, like helping us with that. And then we did musical theater class, which was awesome and like one of the best things ever.
You were the biggest class of all time, though.
Well, weren't we the first class?
Well, you were the first class after 2 years off, and I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did we do that with 24 kids?
It was awesome.
It was so crazy. It was cool. But now all the classes since then have been anywhere between like 6 and 10 kids, and we just get through things a lot quicker. But your group was also very charismatic. So
Yeah.
there was
Well, I remember we did from Shrek, which was fun that you guys did Shrek later, but we did the song from Shrek and we all had our own parts and it was
so,
like a production outside of regular musical. It was so fun.
yeah, it was. It was so great. And I treasure those memories still, for sure. Um, Question for you. This is kind of like a big question, but if you have advice for students who are about to leave Leroy as seniors and or underclassmen who are in their journey through high school, which ultimately ends for everybody, and you have to, become an adult and go to college or choose a career or whatever you choose to do at the end. What would your advice be for them?
Well, I actually watched Erica's last week and I have very similar advice to her because I was like, girl, you don't have to know what you're doing after you go. I felt so much pressure in high school to know like what college you're going to. They put all the colleges on the wall with your names, like where you're going. And I'm like, that's super great. But I was like kind of stressed about it because I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I went to Elam because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I was like, it's a cheap option. And I wanted to learn more about God. I'm a religious person. So I decided to go there and get my associate degree because I was like, we got to start somewhere. Let's just do school. I like school. So I actually have missed school a lot. I was just telling my husband yesterday, I was reading Harry Potter and they're talking about all the homework that they have to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of wish I had some homework to do. Like, it's so weird. It's been 4 years since I've been in school.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I went to Elam and I got a job right out of there, which is super great. And I didn't know that that was going to happen. And I do have plans to go back to school eventually. And I still don't know what I want to do. And I'm 24 years old. Like, so
That's okay.
my advice would be not to stress about it and just try things that you love. What I plan on doing is taking some classes in something that I think might be interesting. And then if I like it, maybe continue in that career or whatever, but you don't have to know what you're doing after school. Like, get through school, do the best you can, work hard because it's important. Even like doing musical is great and it takes so much time, but doing school is also like that's what you're there for. And yeah, I wouldn't, just don't stress about it. And if you do stress about it, talk to somebody about it because so many other people have been there, like in that exact place and stressed and overwhelmed. And they're like, oh, you're going to be an adult. I got married when I was 20 years old and I still didn't feel like I still don't feel like I'm an adult most days.
Me neither.
Yeah, you never feel like that. There's always going to be somebody older than you or more wiser than you. And if you start comparing yourself to them, you're never going to feel accomplished. So just be your own person and do something that makes you feel happy and makes other people around you happy. I really like trying to, you know, encourage others and like be there for people when they need me. And if I'm, you know, still not sure what I'm doing at 24, it's okay if you don't know what you're doing at 18. Like, not a big deal.
No, it's true. That's really, it's good advice. Good advice. You know, sometimes the strangest things come at the oddest times, and then you figure out like that's what I'm meant to do. And
Sure. Yeah, our school is working on getting our bachelor's program offered at Elam. We only have an associate degree right now and a certificate, and we want to offer online classes eventually. And I'm like, I think I would love to teach online. I don't think I would like to teach in the classroom necessarily, but I would love to teach online. And so then I'm like, maybe I could do that. And then I'm like, but what would I teach? And so then you're like, got to go back to what am I interested in? What would I be like excited about sharing with other people?
for sure, yeah. For
So
sure.
I don't know. We'll see. Like, there's still so much.
And you might also have. Oh no, I'm back. It's hello.
I hear you. Oh, there you are.
Okay, it's I call it country internet.
Ah,
It's
good.
my special own Wi-Fi mix here over here. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Um, I forget what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, I think all of that is just awesome advice for everybody who's coming out of school right now or working through high school. I think it's a journey of trying to figure out where you fit and where you belong, and the idea that it might change throughout your life, and that's
Yeah.
also okay.
Yeah, sure. My dad, like, this isn't necessarily personal, but my dad, when he graduated from high school, he went into printing and he worked at like a printing press when I was really little. And then when I was probably in second grade or something, he went back to school to become an educator. This past year, he um, went, not this past year, 2 years ago or something. I don't know. He went to get a certificate for teaching like the next level. And then he became a vice principal at Warsaw Elementary School, and now he's a principal, and he's 53. Like, he changed his mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just got the principal job this past week, so I'm so excited for him.
yeah, congrats.
Shout out to my dad, but he doesn't have Instagram, so he won't see this.
Okay.
But yeah, like, he didn't, like, he went and did something for 4 years and then still changed his mind, and he loves what he does now. And I'd also say to just like enjoy where you're at because it'll change and you're gonna miss those moments if you don't.
For sure, for sure. All right, let me ask you this question. Do you still sing?
I sang on the worship team at my church for the last several years. This morning, actually, while I was doing the dishes, I was thinking about our thing and I was singing a song from Anything Goes. just because it popped in my head because I was like, I have to go do this. And what were all the shows that I was in and trying to remember everything.
That's
Um, yeah, it's so fun. There was a choir at the college that I was at for 1 year. And I was in that, which was really fun. And actually, I was hoping to audition for a show here in San Angelo, but the auditions, yeah, well, they were supposed to be on February 18th or 17th or something, and we left to move here from New York the following day. So it was like a whole week behind for auditions, and the next ones aren't until November, and then we're moving again like in December. So it's not going to happen now. But I like really want to get into community theater.
yeah.
But I sing in the shower and I sing at the house. So whatever.
Thing that you can always do,
Yeah.
whether
Anywhere. I mean, your vocal cords go with you. So
it's great. Well, we could sing a virtual duet.
yeah, I know. I was looking at that thing. I couldn't really get it to do what I needed it to do, but it looks fun.
It's super fun. I'll send you a message.
Okay, sounds good.
Instructions. It's not. Yeah, it's pretty easy once you figure it out.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, it has
So
been
fun.
good talking to you, Ashley.
Yeah, same.
Our students, and I love this opportunity to reminisce with all of you.
It's so great. I feel like I haven't really talked to anybody in such a long time, and I mean like anyone from high school and from musicals and stuff, and even just chatting, like when you were asking all of us to do it, I was like, look at all these people that I know from high school, and we did musicals, and it's been so fun. I'm so glad that you asked me to be a part of this.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you said yes.
Yeah, I miss you guys a lot. Like, musicals so fun, and it just becomes such a big part of your life. Like doing Zumba at school or sleeping on the floor, like in the auditorium, like all that stuff is just, it's something that you miss, and it's so fun.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, stay healthy, stay well.
Thanks.
And stay in touch and let us know where you end up next.
I will. Yeah.
Exciting. You're like a national traveler now.
Yeah, and I don't get to make the decision about where we're going. We get to like give some input, but we won't even know until August what our options are, which is super fun. It's just kind of like, yeah, anywhere you go, I'll go, and I can take my job with me, and we'll just see what happens. We're hoping to go overseas, so that would be super fun. But with the coronavirus and everything, I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, and you'll be sitting until things change, probably.
Yeah, Sam will be at school full time, at least for the next 6 months. So until then, we're just gonna wait and see what happens.
Well, let us know what happens.
Sure thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Bye.